What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Degenerate podcast. We are only down to 4 teams left in the NBA playoffs. It is conference finals time. Today, we are going to be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals, the New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. I'm going to do a quick preview and give my prediction. Go check out my page. I did a similar type of video for the Western Conference Finals the other day. Go check that out. But let's hop into this series. So what I did is I broke down each team into 5 key factors. Those factors are offense, defense, the size of the team, the experience of the team, and how clutch a team is. Because in my opinion, those are the 5 things that a team has to be good at, the 5 main things to be good at in order to win this series and maybe even potentially win an NBA championship. So let's go ahead and hop into those factors, and let's start with the offense. So the first thing I looked at was points per game, and the Pacers have been better. In the normal season, they were at a little over 117 points per game, which ranked number 7. And the Knicks were a little under 116, which ranked 9th. In the playoffs, the Pacers have stayed the same, still over 117 points, which is number 2 in the playoffs so far. But the Knicks have really dropped down. They're under 107 points per game in the playoffs, which only ranks 7th. So the Pacers have the advantage when it comes to points per game. The next thing I looked at was 3-point percentage. The Pacers also have the advantage here. So in the normal season, these teams were basically even. The Pacers were at 36.8%, and the Knicks were at 36.9%. So the Knicks were a tenth of a percent better, but that's basically a wash. But when it comes to the playoffs, the Pacers have been the best team in the league, number 1 at 3-point shooting at over 40% from 3. They've been hot. And the Knicks dropped down to under 36%, which is only number 7. So the Pacers have the advantage there because they've been hot in the playoffs. The next thing I looked at was how many players on these teams score at least 15 points per game. Because in my opinion, if a player can score 15 points per game or more, they are an above average scorer and a difference maker on the offensive side of the ball. And in the normal season, these teams were even. These teams both had 4 players at over 15 points per game, which was solid. The Knicks had Brunson, Towns, Bridges, and Anunoby. And in the normal season, the Pacers had Siakam, Halliburton, Mathurin, and Turner. So they're even in the normal season. In the playoffs, the Knicks are a little bit better. The Knicks still have those 4 same guys at 15 points per game or more. But the Pacers dropped down to only 3. So the Pacers still have Siakam, Halliburton, and Turner. But Mathurin is only at 10 points per game, and he's got his minutes really reduced. In the normal season, he was playing like 30 minutes a game, and they really haven't been playing him. He's been struggling. I will say, even though the Pacers don't have 4 guys at 15 or more, they do have 2 guys that are a little under 15. So they have Nembhard and Nesmith, who are both at 14.6. So the Pacers' offense is still good. They still have scorers, but the Knicks just have a little bit more consistent high-level scoring. So I give the Knicks an advantage when it comes to players scoring 15 points or more. And then the last thing I looked at was turnovers. Are these teams good at limiting turnovers? And it was pretty even, honestly. It was pretty even. In the normal season, the Pacers ranked 4th, while the Knicks ranked 5th. Both of them were a little over 13 turnovers per game. And in the playoffs, the Pacers ranked 5th and the Knicks ranked 6th. But both teams were a little under 13 per game. So that's basically a wash. But because the Pacers were better at points per game and 3-point shooting, I'm going to give the offensive edge to the Pacers. Next, let's go to defense. So the first thing I looked at when looking at defense was the defensive rating of these teams. In the normal season, these teams were literally even. Both teams had a 113.3 rating. But in the playoffs, the Knicks have been way better. So the Knicks have a 110.6 rating, which ranks 5th. And the Pacers have an 111.9 rating, which ranks 8th. And not only that, the Knicks have played way harder opponents. The Celtics and the Pistons have a way better team than the Bucks with no Damian Lillard. And then the Cavs. The Cavs are a good team, but they played the Bucks with no Damian Lillard, and they're still giving up more points than the Knicks. So in my opinion, the Knicks defense has been way better just based off of the stats and who they've played. So I give the Knicks the advantage there. The next thing I looked at was, are these defenses good at forcing turnovers? And actually, it was a wash. It was a wash because the Pacers were better in the normal season. They forced 15 turnovers per game, which was number 11. And the Knicks were only at 14.5, which is 14th. So they're a little bit worse. But in the playoffs, the Knicks have been better while still playing harder opponents. The Knicks rank number 5 in the playoffs with a little under 15 turnovers per game. And the Pacers are only at 13.4, which is number 7. So the Knicks get the advantage there as well. The next thing I look at was steals. Are these teams good at getting steals? And same thing, it was a wash here. The Knicks were a little bit worse when it comes to normal season. They had 8.2 steals per game, which ranked 13th. The Pacers were at 8.5, which ranked 9th. But the Knicks have been better in the playoffs. 7.8 steals per game in the playoffs, which is number 6. And the Pacers are only at 6.8, which ranks number 10. So once again, it's a wash. But in the playoffs, the Knicks have been better playing better opponents. So I give the advantage to the Knicks there. And then the last thing I looked at was blocks. So the Pacers take this outright. The Pacers are the better team when it comes to blocks. The Knicks were number 29 in the normal season, only at 4 blocks per game, while the Pacers were at 5.5, which was number 6. And in the playoffs, the Pacers raise it up. They're at 6 blocks per game, which is number 4, while the Knicks are at under 5, only 4.6, which ranks 10th. So the Pacers do have the big advantage when it comes to blocks, but everything else defensively, the Knicks are better at. So I give the defensive edge to the Knicks. So the next thing I looked at was the size of the team. And honestly, this is like one of the biggest things the Pacers struggle with. The only big man they have that plays for them is Miles Turner. Literally the only one. And the Knicks have Towns and Mitchell Robinson. Just looking at it like that, the Knicks should have an advantage. But let's look at the stats. Do the stats back that up? So the first thing I looked at was rebounds, just total rebounds. And the Knicks have the advantage in both the regular season and in the playoffs. The Knicks ranked 24th in the normal season at 42.6, while the Pacers only had 41.8 and ranked 28th. In the playoffs, the Knicks have been way better. They're at 43, which ranks number 9, and the Pacers are under 42 per game, which ranks 11th. So the Knicks are better in both aspects there. Then I looked at offensive rebounds. In the normal season, the Knicks were better, at a little under 11 per game, which ranks 19th, and the Pacers were under 10 per game, which ranked 29th. And in the playoffs, I know this firsthand as a Celtics fan, the Knicks are Mitchell Robinson. Every time he goes in, he gets offensive rebounds, man. The Knicks are at a little under 12 offensive rebounds per game in the playoffs, which ranks 6th, while the Pacers are at under 7, which is dead last in the playoffs. Not good at all. Advantage goes to the Knicks there as well. The one thing the Pacers, surprisingly, even though they're not good at total rebounds, they've been pretty solid when it comes to defensive rebounds. So in the normal season, the Pacers were just a little bit better when it comes to defensive rebounds. They ranked 22nd with 32.7. The Knicks ranked 25th with 31.8. But when it comes to the playoffs, the Pacers are the number 1 team in the league in defensive rebounds at 34.7, while the Knicks ranked 10th at 31.1. That was pretty surprising to me that even though the Pacers aren't that good at total rebounding, apparently defensive rebounding in the playoffs, they've been solid, which is kind of crazy. And then the last thing I looked at was, do these teams limit points in the paint? Because if you're a team that is pretty good at limiting points in the paint, that means you have good size, good rim protecting. That is very important. And basically, the Knicks are better there as well. No surprise. When you have Mitchell Robinson and Towns compared to only Miles Turner, you're probably going to be better. So in the normal season, the Knicks ranked 20th, which isn't great. Like, they're not that good. They still allowed over 50 points in the paint. But the Pacers were at 51, and they ranked 26. So the Knicks were better in the normal season. And in the playoffs, the Knicks have been way better, man. Way better. The Knicks are averaging a little over 40 points in the paint allowed, which is number 4. While the Pacers are at over 46 per game in the playoffs, which ranks 10th. So the Knicks have a huge advantage when it comes to size. Better at total rebounds, better at offensive rebounds, better at limiting points in the paint. The Knicks have the huge size advantage. So let's hop into the intangible things now. Playoff experience. You guys know I am a huge believer in playoff experience. I say it every year. We see it every year, man. The team that's more talented doesn't always win if they don't have playoff experience. Because having a roster that has been in the big moment, has been in the high pressure moment before, comes up big. Because especially in a series like this, the conference finals, there are going to be some clutch moments, some big time moments, some high pressure moments. So let's look at it. And both teams are pretty even, man. Both teams are pretty even. So I kind of broke it down into tiers. The first thing I looked at was how many players do these teams have that have played in 10 plus playoff games? And both teams are even. Both teams have 12 players that have played in 10 plus playoff games. Then I looked at 20 plus playoff games. The Knicks have the slight advantage. They have 12 players, while the Pacers only have 9. Then I looked at 30 plus playoff games. Now the advantage starts to go really in the favor of the Knicks. The Knicks have 10 with 30 plus, while the Pacers only have 5. Then I went to 40 plus. Knicks have 8. Pacers only have 5. Then I went to 50 plus. The Knicks still have 5 players on their roster with 50 plus playoff games of experience, while the Pacers only have 2. So when you look at just that, the Knicks have a lot more experience. They just have way more veteran players that have been there before. But in the Pacers' defense, I will say the Pacers have more people on their roster that have played in the conference finals. And the reason for that is because the Pacers made the conference finals last year against the Celtics. So all those young guys, Halliburton, Mathurin, Nembhard, all those guys, even though they're young, they made a conference finals last year. And then the Pacers still have guys like Turner and McConnell and Toppin who have been in the league for a while. But because they have the advantage of making the conference finals last year, they have more players in the conference finals. So that is one thing in the Pacers' favor. But the Knicks still have 5 guys. The Knicks still have 5 guys with conference finals experience. That's not a little amount either. And the main thing here, the main reason why I give the Knicks the advantage when it comes to experience is NBA finals experience. The Pacers have zero guys on their roster that have been in the finals, while the Knicks have 3 guys. So it's no slight on the Pacers. The Pacers are a pretty experienced team, even though they're young. But I gotta give the edge to the Knicks. They just have more guys that have been in the biggest moment ever, and the Pacers don't have any. So I gotta give the Knicks the advantage. And then the last thing, another intangible. How clutch are these teams? And I gotta say, before looking at the stats, I didn't realize how good of a clutch team the Pacers have been. It's kind of crazy. The Pacers in the normal season were a better clutch team. So first thing I looked at was clutch games. How many clutch games did these teams play? The Pacers played 38 clutch games, which ranks 12th, while the Knicks only played 31, which ranks 28th. And then the winning percentage on those, the Knicks were at 61%, which is 5th, but the Pacers were at 63%, which ranks 4th. So the Pacers played more games and had a higher winning percentage in clutch games in the normal season. But this is the thing here. Both teams have been in a lot of clutch games in the playoffs. The Knicks have played in 8 clutch games, which ranks number 1. The Pacers have played in 5, which ranks 4th. So they both have had a good amount of clutch games. And the Pacers have won 100%. They've won all 5 of their clutch games, while the Knicks only won 75%. But the thing is, the Knicks winning 75% of 8 games still means they've won more clutch games. They've won 6 out of 8, while the Pacers have only won 5 out of 5. So even though the Pacers have a higher win percentage, I think that's a wash because the Knicks have played more and have only lost 2. So I don't give the Pacers the advantage there. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think if I'm wrong for that. But I don't know. I don't think the Pacers have that much of an advantage in the playoffs. Like, yes, they've had some clutch buzzer beaters, but the Knicks have won 6 out of 8 clutch games against harder opponents. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think there. The next thing I looked at was clutch points. So, basically what this means is in those clutch games, how many points per clutch game did these teams score? And the Knicks are better. The Knicks have been better in the normal season and in the playoffs. The Knicks were number 1 in the normal season at 11.6 points per clutch game, while the Pacers were pretty good too. The Pacers were second with 11.2. In the playoffs, the Knicks are at 11 points per clutch game, which is number 3, while the Pacers are at under 10, which is 4th. So the Knicks are slightly better when it comes to points per clutch game. And then the last thing I looked at was the best player on each team, the player that has the ball in the clutch moments, which one is better. And we all know Brunson won Clutch Player of the Year. We know that already. So Brunson was number 2 in the league when it comes to total clutch points at 156, while Halliburton still had 100. Not bad. He was number 9, which is not quite as good. And then I looked at this playoff run. How these guys have been. And we all know Halliburton has been hitting some crazy buzzer beater game winning shots. And Halliburton has 20 clutch points, which is good, ranks number 5. Brunson has 43, which ranks number 1. So Brunson is just a different animal. So I know looking at these stats, it might look like the Pacers have the advantage because they had more clutch games than the normal season, a higher winning percentage. They had a higher winning percentage in the playoffs. But you got to look at it like this. Like I said, the Knicks won 6 clutch playoff games against the Celtics and the Pistons, while the Pacers played the Bucks in the first round. So the Knicks have, like, it's the same thing I keep saying. The Knicks played a tougher opponent, and they're still grinding out these close games. And just because of Brunson has such a big advantage on Halliburton, I'm going to give the super slight advantage to the Knicks when it comes to clutch, because at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, if it's a close game, who do I trust more? And I think I trust Brunson more. So I might be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. But I give the slight advantage to the Knicks when it comes to clutchness. So if you look at all 5 key factors and you add them up, the Knicks have a 4-1 advantage over the Pacers. The only thing the Pacers have over the Knicks is offense. But the Knicks are better defensively. They have better size. They have more experience. And they're more clutch, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean, even though it's 4-1, it doesn't mean the Pacers don't have a chance. The Pacers are still a good team. We saw that when you look at the stats. They're not a bad team at all. Speaking of that, I got to make a prediction, right? I got to make a prediction here. And if I had to pick, I would go with the Knicks, but I think I'd go 7. My prediction is Knicks in 7. The Pacers will put up a fight because these teams match up very well against each other. Both teams have plenty of playoff experience, and both teams are used to big moments. Both teams are among the most clutch teams in the NBA. We just talked about it. And both teams are good in close game situations. I really hope every game's a close game, and I hope it goes back and forth. Halliburton wins one. Brunson wins one. It's good. If it's a close game, it's a 50-50 coin flip. I would personally trust Brunson more, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Halliburton could definitely win. So these teams match up very well. The one thing Indiana can do to kind of give themselves an advantage is that they play at a very high pace. They were like, I don't know off the top of my head, but they were like 1 or 2 in the league. They might have been number 1 in the league when it comes to pace in the normal season. They run, man. They get the ball and run. And the Knicks don't like to play that. The Knicks are more of a bring it up, half-court offense type of thing. So the Pacers could easily win some games just by playing the way they want to play and getting the Knicks to run with them. If the Pacers get you to run with them, that's what the Pacers want. They want you to run with them. Indiana also has an advantage, like I said, when it comes to three-point shooting. They've been shooting lights out. So if Indiana can shoot the ball well and get the Knicks to play the way they want, the Pacers could easily win this series. But the reason I picked the Knicks here, I just think the Knicks have more advantage in more things. I believe New York has better defenders. Just Anunoby, Bridges, Hart. Those 3 alone are going to give the Indiana Pacers trouble on offense, especially when the Knicks are at home. And I just trust their defense more, man. Even though the Pacers' defense isn't bad, I just trust them way more. Those 3 guys, yeah, man, it's tough. And the main reason why is just the size advantage, man. The rebounding, the points in the paint. The Knicks are just way better there. Like, Miles Turner is he's not that good of a big man when it comes to actually doing big man stuff. He's a good scorer. He can shoot the ball, but I don't know, man. Like, put Mitchell Robinson in there, he's going to eat him up on the offensive boards. The Knicks have a huge size advantage. Halliburton is a great clutch player. Like we just saw in the playoffs, he has 2 buzzer beaters already, or maybe 3, 2 or 3 buzzer beaters already. But like I said, when it comes down to it, I trust Brunson more. Especially coming off, I'm a Celtics fan, coming off watching that Celtics series, Brunson is an absolute dog. It will be a great series. But because the Knicks are at home, I'm going to give them the advantage. I got Knicks in 7. So that is the preview and prediction for the Eastern Conference Finals. Like I said, go check out the Western Conference Finals as well if you haven't watched that yet. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love all of you.